25, Fatherhood, Hip Hop, and Sports. First and foremost, man, I want to give thanks to the Creator for giving us life, giving us the chance, giving us the opportunity to be in the number one more time. I also want to send a special shout out, man, to all the creators uh, across the world. Uh, you guys are amazing. Um, to have that gift to create and to step outside of our most confused state and give that most vulnerable side of us when we're just trying to be compassionate about the art and the masses. It's a big deal when you have that ability to create, to inspire, to touch lives, and to touch people. It's a very, very beautiful thing. So very, very thankful for the opportunity uh, to be in the number one more time and to just be um, in such a creative space here in the fourth quarter as we are getting ready to close 2022. I want to send a special shout out to all the fathers out here across the world, man. It's fourth quarter time, dads. It's time to close. Uh, I hope 2022 has been uh, the best year for all of us. I know that sounds kind of redundant, uh, but we got to keep going. It's just simple as that, fathers. Uh, I want to send another special shout out, man, to Master P and Romeo. Um, it's amazing how, from the outside looking in, we can think all these celebrities, all these high profile people uh, have these just picture perfect lives, but in all actuality, um, these people are human too. So um, Master P being Romeo's dad, uh, I know what fatherhood means to Rome right now because he's 6 months, barely a year into being a brand new father. So big shout out to Rome uh, and his experience that he's given the opportunity to live it out right now. I want to say he's a girl dad, so I know that's a very touchy moment to be living right now. So big shout out to Romeo and how he's dealing with fatherhood, and I just hope and pray that all the fathers across the world, man, have had uh, some type of peace this entire year, not just uh, at work, but just peace, at home and peace, with all the people that you consider your loved ones, because it's a lot of discombobulation going on in the times that we're living in. So I just want to send a special shout out, man, to all the fathers, man. It's fourth quarter time. We gotta close. Hip hop, man. There's a lot of people out here chatting, they blogging, they playing prosecutors. Um, and it's just a trip that one minute Atlanta is in the light for a lot of good media, and one minute it's a lot of federal and a lot of uh, RICO charges and things of that nature that's going on down there. And all I can say, man, is we got to get back to the content. We got to get back to the substance and giving back to the universe, because at the end of the day, there's people out here that are always just tapping in, they listening, and they vibing to what, you know, these top shelf artists got going on. So it's kind of like their lifestyles are being mimicked uh, on the hour, and we ain't got but 24 hours in a day to execute and to perform and to be the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. So mm, it's a lot of pressure on a lot of artists and a lot of creators out here, especially in this day and age of hip hop, because the next generation are just sponges. They just soaking it's soaking it up, and they finding ways to just duplicate that energy. And I don't feel like it's fair because I feel like it's really, it seems like these days it's really not about the substance in the music anymore. It's basically seems like it just boils down to who have the most cars and who has the flies, jewelry and stuff, and who have the bigger guns and the most access to the most guns. So sad that's where hip hop has taken a turn into, but those are the times that we're living in, and I just hope and pray, man, we can get back just to the art itself because there's so many other things that I would rather be talking about, but I have to touch bases on it because those are the things that everybody else is touching bases on, and I lived in Georgia for 17 years of my life, so uh, yeah, that gives me somewhat of a green light to speak on a lot of this stuff that's been going on in my native state. Uh, feel kind of bad for that cat down there in Houston, Mr. Sauce Walker, because he was just online a couple of days ago making fun of the guy, you know, um, calling him a rat, calling him a squiller, etc., etc. It is 2 days later, the feds come knocking on your door, ready to blow up your mix. So that's the cold part about that, man. And where we at in hip hop these days. It's like you get people that'll get on the internet, they'll pick at other artists and talk about their cases and things they got going on in that nature. And then it's like when the shoe is on your foot, and then it's like, how you gonna deal with that pressure. So uh I just hope and pray we can get back to the content and, giving the universe what it truly needs when we talking vibrations, energy, music, sound. That should be the agenda. Sports, yeah, this weekend recap of sports was very weird, but uh, I must admit, from a college basketball perspective, none of those marquee games, uh, none of them disappointed me. All of those marquee games were pretty much as expected, tight games. Um, Only one that was a little discombobulated was the Kansas and Indiana, but it was a tight game at the half. Kansas kind of pulled away in the second half, but Baylor, Virginia was a defensive juggernaut as I expected. Uh, I want to say the most complete defensive basketball game the entire weekend was Oklahoma State playing Wichita State. Haven't watched Wichita play a lot of basketball, but they didn't even crack 50 for 40 minutes. So, uh, big shout out to Oklahoma State, man. It sounded like y'all was moving y'all feet. Y'all bought into um, to the program. Y'all bought into the philosophy, that the coach had been preaching to you guys before the game. Um, when you hold an opponent, a Division One team, to under 50 points in a 40-minute basketball game, um, that says that speaks volume, and it says that you guys truly exceeded you guys' scouting report. So big shout out to Oklahoma State, man. You guys played some superb defense this past weekend. You guys held it, and you did it on the road. Anytime you can hold a team in their gym under 50 points, a Division One basketball team. I mean, you got high school kids out here that score more than 50 in a game. So that was very, very impressive. I was also very impressed with the way UCLA went in there and took care of things in Kentucky, down there in Lexington. And I was very impressed with the way the Tar Heels went into Ohio State, very hostile environment, and won a very high score, won a basketball game on the road, hostile environment with a lot of offense, on the board. So anytime you put up 89 points on the road in a hostile environment like Ohio State, that's a great way to end your week going into the new week. Very impressed with Mark Few and the job that he's done in Gonzaga over the last decade, man. The guy just continues to win. That was a very impressive win they had down there in Tuscaloosa. They put up a 100 spot on Alabama. Very high scoring game like I expected. So very big shout out to the Zags and Coach Few in that program. Was very impressed with Arizona and Kansas and Purdue. They all held their home court and held the fort down, did their thing. UConn, that was a tight game. They was playing in, and next thing you know, they was up 25. But UConn have a lot of size, so they really handled business and did the things that they was supposed to do. Also, I just want to clarify a couple things what I spoke on in episodes 24. I want to give a big shout out to Coach Bruce Pearl and Coach Rick Barnes. I said Bruce Pearl was the coach for Tennessee in episode 24, but Coach Bruce Pearl has moved on and has been in Auburn for the last about 5-6 years. Kind of got sidetracked with that one because I knew he was still in the SEC. It just slipped my mind that he wasn't no longer in Tennessee and that he's in Auburn. And he's coaching, the War Eagles over there in Auburn. So big shout out to Coach Bruce Pearl. But Rick Barnes is the coach down in Tennessee. And they went out to Arizona, played a very tight ball game. They lost by 5, but it was a good ball game, good top 10 matchup. Quite sure they learned a lot about themselves. And I'm quite sure Coach Rick Barnes, will have them back on track, today at practice. They'll watch some film. They'll dissect the pros and the cons of everything. And I'm quite sure they'll, get back to playing the ball they was playing before they took that loss. So, because like I said, man, the SEC is deep with talent. Anytime you have the Story program not even ranked, and then you got all these team that's looking up to them as the face of the conference, and you're outplaying them. That says a lot about the conference as a whole. So big shout out to the SEC and the caliber of basketball that you guys are playing. Uh, but the ACC is kind of wide open right now. Big Ten, uh, you got Michigan State. They gonna be in the mix of things. They playing solid ball. But Purdue right now is the number one team in the country, so you can't overlook that. They're number one in the country for a reason. They have the size, they have the experience, they have the depth. So I guess we just gonna have to wait it out and see how things play out. So top five power teams NHL still. We got Boston Bruins at the top of the top still. You got Vegas, New Jersey Devils. They slid down. They were the power team like a week ago, but they still in the top three. And you got Carolina and Toronto. They've made some leaps, and they will be the two teams that will round off the top five. And then you got a few teams that are trending that could easily be in the top five, but they fell off the bottom half of the top 10. And we got your Dallas Stars, Tampa Bay, New York Rangers, and Pittsburgh Penguins. Those are all of your trending teams that are really making moves right now. So hockey is, they finally they got about 70% of a season left. So a little over a quarter of a season they've played already. Uh, NHL is a very extensive season, so it's a lot of hockey to be played. So you guys just stay tapped into the to the podcast. Tap back in with me, and we're gonna be talking about some juicy stuff all year long going on with hockey. So. But big shout out to all those teams that we just spoke on right now. They're holding things down. They're bringing it to the ice every night. So I'm very ecstatic about how these teams are gonna uh, play this next quarter of the season. Uh, NBA this past weekend was nothing short of but amazing, man. Los Angeles Lakers, man. Y'all can't catch a break with AD, man. I mean, right when he's reaching his peak, mommy showering, baby. Right when he's reaching his peak, uh, man, he goes down for a month, you know. And that's the sucky part about uh, being a diehard true Laker fan. It's like these last couple of seasons, you just had to hold your breath with AD every time he hit the floor because it's like, you know, big guy, big frame, but got some fragile bones in his body, man. Never doubted his skill set and his craft. Never doubted that. It's just always been a problem with why do he hurt so much, you know. But LeBron been holding the fort down. Um, People think I'm crazy, but I can see the Lakers right now, staying on course, doing exactly what I feel like, you know, they're good enough to do, which is the Lakers should be winning 6 to 7 games out of 10 games for the next few months because they got to cover some ground. But the reality of it is they're only separated out of first place by like 7 games. So it's like the top team in the West uh, don't got no more than about 21 wins, 22 wins. So uh, they're not far behind. They just got to keep playing the game. They got to keep playing with passion. Big shout out to D Book, man. D Book dropped off a 58 piece on the Pelicans, man. The Pelicans is a great basketball team. I was kind of disappointed in Zion and McCullough and how they let that game slip away because they was painting Phoenix, and I don't understand Phoenix. Some like sometimes they come out and score like 30 in a quarter, and next thing you know, it's 4 minutes left in the quarter in their gym, and they only got fucking 5 points. It's like, But yeah, they ended the quarter scoring 17 points in like 4 minutes, 3 minutes and some change. But it's like, look, you guys got a lot of talent. You just was in the NBA Finals a couple seasons ago. I understand Cameron Johnson is a very big part of you guys' identity and what you guys do. So, that's 15 points a night you're missing in him. So, uh, I just hope you guys can get it together, figure it out. Big shout out to Dame. Dame been balling. I said when Chauncey Billups got that job, if Dame just, ate a little humble pie, buy into what Chauncey got going on, they gonna be a problem. And Jeremy Grant to the mix. We're gonna have to see how it all plays out. But I still feel like they one more solid piece away. What that is right now, I can't put my finger on it, but all I can say, man, is keep this up. But keep him healthy though, But that guy's been playing out of his mind. He's been playing ludicrous, man. But the game ball this past weekend goes to Jordan Poole, man. Jordan Poole was looking like Steph 2.0 the other night. Jordan Poole got a complete offensive package, man. And people fail to realize this dude like 6'4". It's a change, 6'5" almost. So he's a taller version of Steph, period. I mean, yeah, Steph got 3 more chips than him and 12 more years of experience in the league than him, or 10 more. But Jordan Poole he has the intangibles. He has the intangibles to be a starter in this league. I was very surprised. Well, I wasn't surprised because I'm glad that he made the right decision, which is stay still. But Golden State dumped starter money at this guy to keep him in Golden State, which was the smart thing to do because say things go sour here the next few years and Steph want to just be out the mix. Just say something randomly crazy happen like that. Then you got Jordan to fall back on because he's pretty much a younger Steph, and taller. He showed us the other night that, look, I can do everything Steph do. Anytime he need a night off, don't trip. We in good hands. You're in good hands. And last but not least, man, I was very shocked at how Memphis came out so flat the other night playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they was without Gilgeous-Alexander. So, that was the matchup, the point guard. Anytime Morant goes in OKC, everybody that are basketball heads, of course, you want to see him and Gilgeous-Alexander fade. You want to see them go head toe-to-toe. But dude didn't even play and they still got stroked. I didn't understand that. But when you go back and look at the highlights and how everything played out, because I didn't get the opportunity to just watch that basketball game. But he got ejected from the game, differing with an official about a call and throwing out the game. So makes a lot of sense on how OKC pulled away the way they did. Memphis didn't have their leader, and they didn't have their leader, but look, they had everybody else that pretty much knew what the job and what the agenda is when Gilgeous-Alexander is out. So I think the home court played them in their favor a lot in that game. So big shout out to the Thunder, which I did over the past weekend. Now I clearly remember in episode 24, I said we was going to dive into a little baseball, some of the transactions, some of the moves, some of the teams have made so far this year. And the first thing I'm going to talk about, because it blows my mind that this deal was made, because I find it disrespectful to their nucleus and the things they already got going on. But that's the cool part about baseball, man. It's so unpredictable. I mean, all of these sports and all of these players and them being businessmen. Let me clarify that they're agents. Period. So anytime you're an agent, there's a possibility um, employment can change when you're an agent of that magnitude. So we're talking about professional athletes that are agents when we're talking about to these franchises, to these organizations that dump all this money into these guys for entertainment purposes or what they consider, okay, this is a craft. This is something that I've become great at. Because once you become a professional and considered a professional, pretty much everybody look at you like, you have no flaws. There's no wrong and nothing you got going on. So uh, I find it very like crazy that baseball is. Oh man, I was telling one of my partners this the other day, and I'm super serious about this. Like the more and more I sit here and think about it, I'm like, bro, man, I think I gotta keep that bat in my son hand, and these seams coming at him a lot more than shooting a basketball and or running a football, man. Because baseball, they give out the bag, bro. They give out the bag. Like it's crazy how they give out the bag. I'm talking about, man, like the first transaction we're gonna speak on is the Padres. I'm still sitting here trying to figure out why did you guys give Xander Bogaerts? And like now this is just my opinion because I actually like Xander. Great ball player. If I'm not mistaken. Do we got 2 championships? Or just one? I know he was a vital piece of the Boston Red Sox's infield for like close to 10 seasons. So if you're gonna turn around and give a guy that's already has a lot of wear and tear on his body, has showed spurts of power, became a master at hitting in Fenway. But man, you guys locked him in for 11 years for 200 and like what was it? 77 million, 280 million. And he played shortstop. But on paperwork, you already got a shortstop that made 37, 34, 35 a year. And yeah, he got to miss the first 50 games, but there have been rumors they're gonna flirt with putting him back in the outfield to try to keep him healthier. But I still feel like he go. I mean, playing baseball requires a lot of diving, a lot of weird twisting, a lot of just constant from A to Z. Very complex way and manner, and it's kind of like he gonna hit that turf. He gonna get dirty. So whether it's at shortstop, whether it's left field, wherever it's at, like that dude's a game changer. So I don't know if we smell a trade coming, but that's a lot of money for a team to pay a player that plays the same position as a guy that you already have on the roster. Even though the world knows you can put him anywhere, and he's a game changer. So don't understand that move, but big shout out to his agents and to his family, man. They got paid. Speaking of getting paid, whoever caught that 60-second home run ball, man, Aaron Judge, I heard it got sold for 1.5. Ooh, that's a big bag for a baseball. I tell you that much. That's a big bag for a baseball. Big shout out to Dansby Swanson, man. Hate to see you leave Atlanta, but you got paid. I mean, anytime we talk about a guy that's just been a grinder, blue collar guy, was never looked at as just this superb talent. Uh, Atlanta took a gamble on him because when they called him up and he played consistent shortstop for them the way he did, there was some other high profile names that were out there. When they gave him a little money to keep him around, the time they was able to keep him around, and he exceeded his contract in Atlanta and some. So to see him leave off and go get 177, that was major. That was major. Also, big shout out to Brantley, Justin Turner, uh, probably two of the best hitters in baseball over 32, 33 years old. Brantley probably my age, a little older. So I'm 36, be 37 in a few days here. So Brantley got to be pushing 40. JT might be my age, but still, both of these guys can hit with the best of them. So to see Turner leave LA, I know that's a very emotional thing for the Dodgers right now. They've been losing a lot of players. So the way it looks, the Dodgers, they moving some pieces right now. They moving some players around. So they won't look the same next year. But you best to believe all the people they plugging in and the people that are, stepping up into these roles, they know what's at stake. So when you put on the Dodger blue, LA market, compete for championships every season. Compete for championships. It's major. It's major. It's major up there in LA, man. I want to send a big shout out to the home run hitters so far of the free agency. I got to go with Carlos Rondon. He got 6 years, 162. So that's gonna put him, in the ballpark for sure. He's gonna be a little under 30 a year, but that's good money for Carlos because he's been a solid lefty for some years, and everybody knew last year was just like a test and try thing with the Giants. I'm quite sure they wanted to keep him because he was probably their best pitcher last year, to be honest with you. But the Yankees needed another arm, consistent dynamite arm. So we know they're gonna always be spenders. They got more money. They got Vegas money. So no dollar sign ain't too big for the Yanks, man. But Carlos Correa got paid. He committed to a long time to the Giants, but he got paid. I don't know what's going to go down with Crawford here, but his days of playing shortstop are very numbered over there. So I'm quite sure they're going to find some kind of place where they want to put Brandon and use him at. But anytime a team give a guy a 13-year contract for $350, that's your opening day shortstop, point blank, period. But there were so many transactions that took place. We're gonna dive more into some stuff on episode 26 here Friday, and we're gonna talk. Of course, we're gonna cover some more of the up and coming bowl games that's gonna be playing here this week and this weekend. Felt very bad for Coach Prime and the Jackson State, man. They couldn't complete the mission. They was in the game, winning the game. Again, the game got tight, and it got tied, and it went to overtime. And hey, they lost. It's been a lot of people having a lot of mixed emotions about Coach Prime and his decision still, but all I can say on that is, man, some things could have been done differently, but Coach Prime is Coach Prime. He's been to where these kids that he's building up trying to go. A lot of them won't even be half of what he was, or nor see nowhere near the contract money that he saw. But to be led, to be coached, to be molded, to be a sponge to something so sauced up and something so dripped up and something with so much clout behind his name. It's like playing for Coach Prime, I'm quite sure, man, it was like a dream come true for a lot of those kids. And so I'm quite sure a lot of them overstand more than we can as the media and the people, because I'm quite sure they knew Coach Prime was, agenda when he, started the coaching on this level was, I got to get to a nice Division I school with a little bit more resources. I mean, Jackson State, I knew from the gate it wasn't something that he was going to be locked into for no 5 and 10 years. I knew it was something that was going to be something real quick, have a lot of success, and then the right school. I already knew it. The right school was going to snatch him. Dunk that bag at him, and you can't turn down $5 million, bro. And I'm only making $250 in my current role. Like, there's no way you can turn that down. So big shout out to Coach Prime and Jackson State and all the passion and energy you gave those kids, man, the past 3 seasons. NFL, man, I saw some very weird things in NFL this past weekend. I guess we're going to start off with that shit showing how the Patriots and the Raiders game ended. Happy for Josh that he was able to, beat his protege, his successor. I mean, his protege. My bad. I'm happy that he was able to, win the ball game, and because when you've coached up under a person for so many years and you really got your break because of this guy. And when you sit, you between the numbers, and you guys on opposite fields, opposite sidelines, and you looking over there and like, damn, man, I was just there a few years ago or just last year over there with them. Now I got my own thing going on over here, planning a spaceship. I mean, the Vegas stadium is so immaculate, man. When you go to Vegas and drive by that place, it just gives you chills. Just driving by and looking at it, because it looks like some shit that you're like, damn, what is that? Like, man, does that belong on Earth type shit? Like, that's how immaculate the outside of the building looks. I can only imagine how it looks inside. The graphics, the seating, just the energy, the smell. Like, man, I can only imagine of, on how much high-tech shit that's going on in that facility. So, but yeah, man, anytime you win a football game off a fucking intercepted fucking lateral and your quarterback gets fucking mauled to the ground, and the guy that caught the fucking interception was a former Patriot, won multiple Super Bowls with the fucking Patriots. So I'm like, hold up, this shit was weird, bro. Out of all people that caught that interception and did that, it had to be Chandler Jones. that was a very Confucius play, very Confucius play. I didn't watch the game personally. We was out yesterday with the loved ones and stuff, eating some grade A sushi down south, and I just saw the aftermath once I got back towards the house. I'm like, no way, that shit ended like that. But I was like, whoa, that was crazy. Uh Dallas Cowboys, man, you guys were in control. And next thing you know, it faded. It faded. It faded real quick. And uh, I was excited to see Trevor, finally put up a 4 touchdown game in his NFL career. I want to say he didn't flirt with 3, maybe a couple times, but that was he hadn't had 4. I know that for a fact. So to throw 4 touchdown passes, knowing y'all ain't going nowhere, but you're playing one of the best teams in the NFL that got, the Dallas Cowboys fans, they're delusional. I was once one of those fans, delusional. But when you're a kid and you following everything that everybody else follow, and this all the shit you see on TV, and you being told that they're America's team. I mean, of course you're gonna like that shit. You're gonna love it. You're gonna appreciate it. No disrespect to Mike, Aikman, Irvin, that trio, Ron Harper, the defense, Haley, Woodson, man. They had a very balanced football team for a good 5-year run, 6-year run. So they were supposed to dominate at a time in the 90s. It was only right that the Dallas Cowboys were on the top of their game in the 90s at one point in time. Do I feel like they could have won a couple more or should have won more? Yeah, they should have. But that goes back to the coaches and the management. And for years, a lot of people said Jerry fucked them out of more success because he felt like he needed to be in control over everything. It's like, come on, bro, you already own the team. So won't you just give somebody the job that might know the game a little more than you do? Because your power and your influence, you're the fucking owner. So what you say goes. But it's okay sometimes to have a little bit more intel around that's creative and that are sharp thinking just like you as an owner. But on the contrary, he's a sharp thinker, more detailed for the game itself, and know how to get the best out of players. So I think that's kind of like a double whammy thing when you got owners that want to be the general managers as well. It's kind of like you can't knock it because, hey, at the end of the day, that's that man's team. That's his team. Everything that goes on with Dallas, he's the face of it, period. So it ain't no middleman guy if things go wrong. Nah. So that's the one thing that I've always respected about that, though, over the years. It's like when they fail, they don't go to the Super Bowl, they lose, it's all on him. It ain't on nobody else. It ain't nobody else in him. And I think I kind of get why he's been doing that for years. It's kind of like, it ain't no pointing no finger at nobody else type shit. It's like, hey, if I don't get this done, I failed this year, so I got to do it again next year. And when you got billions of dollars and influence, and you one of the richest motherfuckers in the entire country, entire world, I mean, the Cowboys are a standard, period. And they ain't even won a Super Bowl in almost 30, 20, almost close to 30 years that they haven't even won a Super Bowl. And people still be on their helmets, like be tough, because they have a great fan base that want to see them win every year. So, but to blow a 20-point lead against a last place team, that was a must-win game if you wanted to have any shot at winning the division. Because Philly just won't lose. They won't lose. Is that a bad thing that they just winning at this rate they winning at right now? I personally think so. Because I feel like if they just win out, get the bye, and then they going to come out that first playoff game, they going to be rusty. Them boys going to be rusty. I don't care what nobody say. I hope more of the impact players are on their job and on their business. But I guarantee you, a good part of them players, they're gonna be rusty. They're gonna be kicking it. Some of them gonna go some vacations. Man, they gonna because when you the best in the conference and you the best in the league and you know you getting buys, you know all this stuff gonna be taking place that's built around y'all. The advantage is not in your favor though, because the advantage is gonna be in the team's favor that's hot, that's going into the playoffs, playing ball the right way. So even though they might win out and go 16-1, let's say, they finish the season strong. They won all their games, then lose but one the entire year. So it's like, okay, well, we know what the challenge is moving forward from that. You got to get to the Super Bowl and get the job done. But then you got to think about all them hungry teams that's been looking up at y'all winning all year long and looking at y'all like, man, them boys ain't that dope. They're not cracking like that. They not, creme de la creme. So we're gonna go punch them in the nose and make it bleed. And then we're gonna see what they about. You get what I'm saying? So am I locked all the way in on what they doing? Not just yet, but I ain't finna sit here and sprinkle no salt on them either. Cause they ain't 13-1 for nothing. They've done a lot of shit right to be 13-1 with, three more games left in the season. So big shout out, man, to the Philadelphia Eagles, what they've accomplished this season. Uh, Jalen Hurts finna get the bad bag. So big shout out to what they got going on. The craziest. Good morning, Papa. Oh my goodness. Well, here he goes. This is the guy that well, you ain't gonna have to do the podcast one day because you're gonna be in the game. You're gonna be the person they talking about on other people's podcasts. So it's something that you can just go back to one day, be like, "Dang, my dad did that," and hopefully we can invest in make it way stronger, and we'll be our own little ESPN. But yeah, this is little Papa, Mr. Sid Jr. He's alive. He's awake on this beautiful Monday morning. Um, his big sissy got a birthday tomorrow. She turned 3. On Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. My day's been so confused the last few days, so pardon me for that. But yeah, big sissy finna take the big 3/30 because she act like she got damn 30 or something sometime. But that's been episode 25, guys. It's been a pleasure. It was a very exciting weekend. A lot of funny style stuff that went on in the sports world this past weekend, but for the most part, it was a pleasure to follow up, to touch bases on some of the things that mean a lot to me, and I'm just very thankful to the good old folks up there in Manila, California, man, the YouTube family, man, for giving little old Pro Lift this platform, this opportunity to just get online and speak on things that mean a lot to me, because it will come a day where we will have to switch some things up. We're gonna have to be more strategic about how we're approaching things, because you got thousands of people out here talking about sports. You got thousands of people out here that's putting their content together better than the way I put it together, and and that's the beautiful part about it. It's always room for growth in whatever it is we're doing. So I'm very optimistic about what the future holds for fatherhood, hip hop, and sports. I almost forgot, man. Big shout out to Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, man. They pulled off the biggest comeback in NFL history, down 33-0 at half at home, and came back and won that game. in a very dramatic fashion. So if there's one team that's still out there that's on the Phillies help, the Eagles helmet, I would have to say it's the Vikings. The Vikings have all the tools, all the intangibles to, to be a first place team in the conference because they've dominated their schedule this year as well. They're only a game back. So I want to say they 11-2. Yeah, something like that of that nature. 11-2, 12-2. And Philly's 13-1. So NFC gonna come down to Philly and the Vikings, man. As far as who's gonna get that 1 seed. Big shout out to they used to be the home town team. I mean, I can't say my hometown, but the town I live in team. Y'all gotta keep winning, keep playing football. Like I said before, 11-6 will get y'all in. 10-7 will get y'all in. But you want to keep winning football games. Mike Williams is healthy. Keenan is healthy. He's looking good. I feel like Staley, you got to just keep being creative with your play calling. No Bosa, no Derwin, and you still was able to hit, Henry in the mouth for 4 quarters. So that was a very impressive win because I'm quite sure a lot of people had y'all counted off with that -3. I knew it wasn't no safe bet to take toward on the spread because it was just too suspect of a number. So if you was going to touch the Chargers, it had to be money line this past weekend because a lot of people didn't expect them to hit Derrick Henry for 4 quarters like that. So 17-14 at home, top shelf running back in committee, you'll take that W, especially when you don't have your best 2 defensive players. So that gets them back to 8-6 on the season. And you got 3 more games to close out, man. So I'm still sticking with y'all. Y'all my sleeper team out the AFC. Because I think when it comes down to it, it ain't but 2 teams that can really beat KC in a big game. And it's Buffalo and it's the Chargers. Everybody else ain't going to be able to stand in the paint. But them the only 2 teams in the AFC. If it come down to a big game, them the only 2 teams I think personnel-wise, talent-wise, and scheme-wise. Those are the only 2 teams that can beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a big-time title game. It's going to have to be the Chargers or Buffalo. If any one of them teams get out the mix, because I'm telling y'all right now, when KC play Cincinnati again, they're going to scrape them. They're going to do them dirty. And, yeah, Tampa fumbled that bad the other day, yesterday as well. Those guys came out and scored 31 unanswered in the second half on them. So I don't know what's really going on in Tampa. I know all the energy is falling back on Tom Brady and his wife and the media. But Tom Brady can't go play goddamn cornerback either. He can't go play free safety. He can't rush the quarterback. Come on, man. I don't know. It seems like that defense is still tripping and they still high and coming down off that Super Bowl win because they have not played the same type of defense these last 2 seasons. Everything has been very discombobulated with that Tampa defense down there. So, Todd Bowles, man, you got your jaw cut out for yourself down there, buddy. But you got a friend in me, like Toy Story, like Woody would say. You got a friend in me, man. I ain't gonna count you out. I know what Tom is capable of as a leader, but I know he needs some help down there right now. And I don't like to see my dog at damn near 50 getting beat up like that. I hate to see it. Hurt my heart every week. But y'all gotta get it together. But it's been a blessing. It's been a pleasure, man. Y'all stay prayed up. Y'all keep God first. We got episode 26 that will be coming. We're coming live with y'all on Friday, right before Christmas. And we're going to have some juicy stuff to talk about because I can't recall the last time NFL Sunday fell on Christmas Day. That was well, I haven't even checked the schedule. They might move most of those games to Saturday, but still though, we got a lot of football on Christmas Eve and Christmas Sunday. Oh, that's crazy. Then my birthday, oh man. So I don't know, man. It's like a crazy, week ahead of us. Like I said, my daughter's birthday in a couple days. Mom's birthday was just yesterday, and we're gonna close out this year with a bang, guys. And we're gonna stay prayed up. We're gonna eat all our humble pie, and we're gonna shake our tail feathers when we supposed to too, you know. But thank you guys so much. I'm gonna tap in with you guys on Friday. I think we're gonna push our time schedule back to 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, because 7 o'clock is really pushing it for me. I be up all night trying to figure shit out, do this and do that, and then still I oversleep a little bit. Then I had to go get milk today, do that little stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I think it'd be best to let's start off at 8 o'clock. 7 is, my kids ain't even up yet and all that. So I'm like, 8 o'clock, great time, I think, for me. So I'll see you guys 8 o'clock, Friday AM, episode 26. It's been a blessing. Been a pleasure. Thank you guys so much. And last but not least, stay prayed up. Keep God first. And hope and pray you all have a blessed and wonderful Christmas and a magnificent New Year. Gone.